ADHD, ADD. Is it genetic or is it hereditary? Toastmaster, guess. I think that it's shaped by the cutting words of others. I'm going to talk to you about Andre. Before the first day of school, Andre was presented to me. I had not met him. All I had was a roster of children. But as I was walking down the hall preparing for my first day, excited, someone came to me and said, "Hey, have you met Andre yet?" No. I continued to prepare. Another teacher came up and said, "Hey, you have to see Miss So-and-so from last year about Andre." Oh, okay, I guess I gotta meet Andre. I gotta hear what's going on with Andre. So as I met her, she began to tell me some things. Well, Andre has to be by your side all the time. He hits other children. He does not pay attention in class. He scribbles over his work. He's just not a good student. So as she spoke to me, she just kind of got me thinking about this Andre and what should I do to prepare for him. So on the first day of school, I have my roster, I have my smile, I'm ready. I'm down low, using eye contact. I'm using, those warm feelings of nurturing, and I'm starting to talk to each one of the children. And as I went down the road, Sarah, John, and then here, Andre. Oh, Andre. Okay, come on out. Comes out. And he commences to roll on the floor. He takes his shirt off. He throws it in the air. I said, "Oh, Andre, okay, I know who you are." So I sit down. So he sits down. And as the lesson continued throughout the day, I had to start pulling Andre a little bit closer to me because he began to hit other children. Okay, and I said, "Oh my goodness." So then I gave them an assignment, and Andre began to ball his up. I said, "Wow." So the kids started saying, "Hey, Miss Gibson, he is always like that. Andre is just one of those kids that always gets in trouble." And he heard those words, and he began to perform even more. He became very active, more so. I didn't know if I was going to make it through the day. And then, months down the road, I meet his family. Loving mom, loving dad. It's obvious that they both really care for him. Dad travels quite often. Mom has some times where she just can't get out of bed. So Andre comes to school one day in the wintertime with shorts on. And I said, "Andre, were you cold this morning?" I was very cold. I was very cold, Miss Gibson. And I said, "Well, then why did you put on shorts?" He said, "That's all I had. Everything else was dirty." And I said, "Hey, it's so cold outside. Just go in the hamper and pull out something dirty. Mom and Dad I got a chance to do that. Pull out something that's warm." He said, "I would have. However, I couldn't find anything because it was in the car." Okay. So Andre had been sleeping in a car. Andre had been homeless from time to time. So when he came into class and he had his shorts on, the kids started laughing. "Oh, you got on shorts. You have on shorts. You. And so Andre couldn't pay attention that day. he was just very inattentive. He was disorderly, very disruptive. So I talked to his family and I say, hey, are there any services that's needed? We got some things in order. Wow, things got a little bit better for Andre. Then I decided that I wanted to meet the real Andre. I wanted to talk with him. So as he started to talk with me, I realized that he was such a sweet boy. So I started saying, you're just always determined to be determined. That's your ADD. You're always determined. Because if you want to do X while I'm doing Z, you're just going to do that. It doesn't mean that you are a bad kid. It just means that you got to switch your determination to where you need to be. So as teachers started coming back, oh, how you doing with that Andre? How are you doing with Andre? And I say, Andre is determined to be determined. So as we start hearing people talk about children with ADD, and we start talking about whether it's genetic or whether it's hereditary, we have to be careful about the words we use to shape the opinion of others. Now, as I have worked with Andre over the years, I have realized that he is extremely, extremely bright. He has become one of my star masters, creative writer. All of that imagination has just blossomed. So when people tell you that someone is ADD or ADHD, they're just kids who are just determined to be determined.